Before we begin to look at the literacy cycle in more detail, I just want to touch on a concept of content versus skills. Now on the screen in front of you is an extract taken from CAP's English Second Additional Language for Foundation Phase. And it says there that the Second Additional Language level assumes that learners do not necessarily have any knowledge of the language when they arrive at school. The focus upon exposure to Second Additional Language is on developing the learner's ability to understand and speak the language. Basic interpersonal skills. In grades 1 to 3, learners start to build their oral and literacy skills. So the aims set out in CAPS for introducing a second additional language is on developing the learner's ability to understand and speak the language. Basic interpersonal skills. Not content, but skills. So let's take a quick look. What is the difference between content and skills? A content-driven teacher is going to focus on the learning of facts, while a skills-driven teacher is going to focus on the actual application of the facts. For example, let's look at greetings. A content-driven teacher is going to hand out a list of different greetings to the learners, get them to memorize it, and repeat it back to them. So the actual learning of facts, the learning of the greetings, while a skills-driven teacher would possibly also hand out different options as to, do we greet someone differently in the morning to the evening? Do we greet someone differently if it was one person or a group of people? But they put it in context. They're not just memorizing it. You know when you say goodnight, it's when it is the evening, it's after a certain time and it's dark. When a teacher focuses on content, they focus on learning a language. While if a teacher focuses on skills, they focus on acquiring a language. Now remember, learning a language are the spelling rules, the grammatical rules, the exception to the rules, and these are all important and have their place in language, but it's not a natural way of learning a language. Acquiring a language is a more natural process, and it's how we all learn to speak our home language. When we were small, we first listened to our parents or our family around us, and when we were able to speak, we then began to communicate in the language. So when you're planning your literacy goals for your learners, please keep in mind content versus skills. Are you focused on grammatical rules, tedious drills and spelling rules? Or do you aim to focus more on meaningful interactions, creativity, and promoting communication within the language? I can't get out of this now. Are you kidding me?